What is up guys, Speed here, and today we are going to be looking at EG versus +1 in the intent to basically show you guys a lot of cool strategies that EG uses in order to win their games. So yeah, these are going to be professional strategies that you probably haven't seen before or haven't thought about, and therefore you can hopefully apply them into your own games as well. So if you're excited for this video and you want to help support our channel as we post here daily, trying to give you guys really good content, you know, good information with high quality editing, then like the video. It would help us out a ton. And on top of that, I'm not going to go into depth about the gameleap website here today, but I would appreciate it if you guys have not checked it out yet, or you're consider signing up to give it a try. I'm putting in a lot of work, as I said, in combination with our editors who also work a ton just to make sure you guys have a lot of good stuff. We have been putting in more and more effort. I know, at least personally, I've been doing more and more just to make sure you guys have really cool stuff for the website, because I know there's been this idea in the past that a lot of it can be surface level, but I've been working to make it a lot more like cool replay analysis where I talk about advanced ideas. I even just made yesterday a video about a game where I played Enigma in the offlane. I snowballed super hard. I was top net worth for basically the entire game. I talk about everything you could ever know, a lot of high level concepts on how to snowball as an offlaner, and a lot of it can even apply to the safe lane or mid lane. So check that out, click the link down below, and you can even get a discount if you do that right now. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about, the first adjustment that EG makes, is that they actually send their Tusk, and yes, Kitrak is generally the position 4, not for EG permanently, but he was standing in, he's their 4 player, and the Tusk is in the bottom lane. Now, let's understand why. Number one, I think Tusk is very good with Quap in lane. However, Tusk is also really good with this offlane puck in lane, so I don't think that's the major reason. I also do think that Shen in the offlane is pretty good. You can control the small camp very well. You can also control the large camp, which in my opinion is very strong. But most importantly, I think that Tusk is very good in the bottom lane for a couple of reasons, which I'll explain now. And in fact, this can apply to a lot of heroes. This can apply to Clockwork, this can apply to Spirit Breaker, Treant. All these heroes, or melee heroes that want to go aggressive, or can go aggressive at level 1 due to their HP pools and natural armor, will very often actually not have a good start, purely because they don't play in the safe lane. So, let's look at the beginning part of the match, and discuss why Kitrak can actually have so much impact early on with this Quap. Number 1, Tusk really likes laning with ranged heroes. Obviously that he could lane top for that, but this is a good matchup, you know what I mean? Quap with Tusk is very, very strong. And on top of that, you're going to see in the offlane, you actually can use tag team. Now, I want you guys to think about it. Can you really use tag team here? I mean, maybe if you wrap around the trees, but it's very clunky. You're going to be super close to the tower, so they're going to have +3 armor, which is a ton. It's a ton of armor, especially against, you know, physical tag team. And just closing the gap is almost impossible, right? How do you do it? You kind of can't, right? You have to wait till you have shards. Until you have shards, it's almost actually impossible to use tag team, unless you really catch them out of position, which is frankly unlikely, especially against top tier players. So instead, because he starts in the bottom lane, he's able to hide in the trees here, and he sees that the Witch Doctor is going to zone the Quap. I do think this is a bit of a mistake on the part of the Witch Doctor. He's slightly overextending, in my opinion, considering he knows that the Tusk is at least in the area. And now the Tusk can immediately get a tag team off, right guys? All of a sudden he goes from an offlane hero that barely can use it to being in the safe lane where people have to walk up, right? They have to overextend, and getting off this god tier tag team, which does 3/4 of the health of the Witch Doctor. You know, that's just straight up a good start to the lane. It's a very beneficial start to the lane. And yeah, so if you guys are playing Tusk or Treant, consider buying an Uv and asking to go in the safe lane. You can even try lane in the safe lane as long as you buy an Uv. And you can go very, very aggressive purely based on the fact that at level 1, heroes have to start up far in the lane, which is very advantageous for these heroes that I discussed before. The next example I have comes about a minute later, and it's a very important thing that honestly I only see top Immortal players do, which surprises me a bit as it's super practical, but that is discussing, you know, what you want to do to kill people and discussing how you're going to kill them in the moment. So in this example here, obviously Kitrak is laning with RTZ's Quap, who's going to take Blink at level 2. Because of that, if Kitrak finds someone out of position, RTZ can blink to it, which sounds very self-explanatory, right? But most people would never communicate this, and therefore it would take way too long for the gank to develop, and therefore it would all collapse, right? They wouldn't be able to actually synergize their spells. However, because they discuss things, right? They talk about it before it actually happens. On top of that, you can even see RTC shifting his camera up to check what's happening. He's able to get a last hit, immediately scout this top tier gank, and as the tag team pops, Arteezy is in. You see how coordinated that was. And you might be like, well, Speed, how can I apply this to my pubs? Really, you just have to become the type of guy who anytime he wants to go on someone, you just give your teammate a general descriptor of what you want them to do. Do not make it complex. Just tell them, hey, can we go on this guy? Very often, they'll know what to do. If you have 2 stuns, you should say, I will stun first. Things like this absolutely revolutionize the way you play Dota because, frankly, almost no one does it. Why? I don't really know. I really don't. But I mean it, guys. Like, I genuinely do not understand why people don't communicate more, because the speed that Arteezy and Kitrek are able to play there in combination with Fly's Chen is what allows them to get that kill. It's not some insane spell casting, it's coordination. And the last example I'll be giving within this short laning stage is another example where Arteezy blinks in, but this one has a couple of different reasons why it's good. So number one, they just killed the Witch Doctor, and therefore he had to TP back to lane. His TP is currently off cooldown. And you're going to see Arteezy in a second here, even in a pro match, just spam pinging the Witch Doctor. And you can do this in your pubs as well. If you want to go on someone, spam ping them, right? Pings, right? He's like, go. Then he's going to immediately blink in. He understands that they're very, very weak. They're all still level 1 3 minutes in. That's very much EG just doing so much pressure to them early on. But yeah, because they have this level advantage, Arteezy wants to push that advantage and go, which is the first point. If you have the level 2 to level 1 advantage, especially in a tri-lane, if this happens, you gotta keep pushing it. On top of that, they're killing the hero with no TP, which is the highest impact kill they can have, right? Witch Doctor is going to die now, therefore he can't TP back, which is going to weaken their tri-lane even more. On top of that, this is the easiest hero for them to kill. Earthshaker has 1 more armor. On top of that, he also has 80 more HP, and Void Spirit also has a lot more HP, right? 720. And a wand, so this is also, he obviously has Resonant Pulse as well. So they choose the easiest hero to kill, which allows them to continue to win this lane without having to commit too many resources, right? Resources are a big deal in Dota, so because of the fact that they go on the Witch Doctor there, they're able to get a very solid kill on a guy with no TP without committing really much of anything. This next strategy we're about to see here is one that I'm personally fascinated by because it's not something I've only seen from EG. This is not an EG specific strategy. This is something I've consistently seen Secret do as well that seems particularly potent within this current patch. And what that is that you actually let your position 5 split push. Specifically, you do it often with position 5s that have some sort of wave clear or units. I've seen this a lot from Secret when they pick Enchantress. They'll constantly just run the Enchantress down the mid lane, down bottom, down top, basically whatever lane they're not playing with their strong cores, they'll play with their weak position 5, right? So let me really make sure you guys understand why this is effective. So currently, they've given the Puck a really good start in the off lane. He was solo laning. They've give Arteezy basically solo XP in this tri lane, right? The Chen is a pretty high level, but that's just because he's Chen. He can jungle. Fly obviously knows that, so he has been jungling. And even the Tusk is a high level just because of how good of a game he's been having. Nonetheless, they want to fight with their strong heroes, but in Dota, if you really want to collapse the map, you can't just really run around as 5. It generally doesn't work. The only play you'll see in the early game where people group up as 5 primarily is for the mid tier 1 tower. In this case, though, we're going to see that the Crit Puck, who is their offlaner in this case, is bottom, Arteezy's bottom, the Tusk is bottom, and even the Necrophos is going to shift towards mid and through bottom. As you can see, he's even cutting the mid wave towards mid, which is a very advanced play on his part. He's dragging the wave, cutting it to allow Fly to take the tower quick. He's cutting the mid wave, and then he's going to wrap towards mid. Because he brings the wave towards mid, he's even closer. Nonetheless, though, they're able to fight with their very high-level heroes and continue to farm. So basically, how EG is looking at the game right now, and I've seen Secret doing this as well, is they almost say that their offlaner, and sometimes their safe laner or mid laner, are going to stop farming. Not completely, but I would say like temporarily, stop farming. They let the position 5 become the farming hero, because who cares if they get ganked, and sure, they can have impact with items. And they fight with the cores, right? Because the cores have levels, they're strong. So instead, right, and it's a really cool concept. Instead of having this core who's a high level split push and never fight, they use the high level cores to fight and they let the low level supports farm, right? So they have their strongest heroes fighting. It's a really fascinating concept. On top of that, EG's draft is particularly good at that. They don't have a typical safe laner. They have a Quap who's much better at fighting than, let's say, a hero like a Naga or a PL right now. And yeah, because of this, they're able to just wipe the floor with +1. It's a very easy fight. and that's because they have all their strong heroes here. And now, as we're going to see in this clip here, this is where EG just straight up wins the game. I mean, the game was basically over as is. They for every minute that the game has gone by, they've gained 1k net worth, which is absurd. But a large reason for this is also because of this Chen recall. So RTZ TP's back to base, and because the Chen is split pushing, you actually can bring RTZ top, which now gives him maximum resources. They're able to take a tier 2 tower for free. He can even kick this Earthshaker out of the game, which is super high impact. The Shaker will never get his blink, right? The Shaker's 2 and 5, like, poor guy. 2 and 5, there's just a Quap cutting his waves. And yeah, this is how you farm aggressively. However, I'd like to say, why can RTZ play so aggressive top? A lot of people look at this and say, oh my god, he's so out of position. He's not out of position, because if we go back about 20 seconds or so here, we will see that they actually TP a ton of heroes bottom. So as we go back, the Tusk actually rolled on the Earthshaker in a clip upcoming here. I'll quickly show it to you guys. So they make a play onto the Shaker, they shard him in. He does end up echo slamming the Tusk. However, this forced a TP from the Void and the Troll, right? So now none of these heroes have TPs, and all of a sudden the top side of the map becomes quite free. So what you're going to see is RTZ goes very hard. He slowly kills the Earthshaker with his level advantage. Just some typical Quap outplays. You go on people, you dagger them, and they lose 65% of their movement speed. Now he TPs back to base. Even the Kunkka comes bottom. He's like, oh, I want to fight. I need to help fight, right? But now, with this Chen who's split pushing top and the fact that he can recall, all of a sudden the top side of the map absolutely collapses, the tower falls, the Earthshaker has no game, and top is completely safe. And this is really how you shut down the map, because now you're going to see that this is how you really shut down the map. They push in top here, they're going to make the Earthshaker feel like he can farm this area, but the problem is, now that the Earthshaker has to farm top, he can't fight, and they can collapse on mid. After, of course, they take Roshan, and this is my favorite clip of the game. This is absolutely ridiculous, and it's largely why these players are super high MMR. It's why RTZ's rank 3 and Fly's... what is Fly? What rank is Fly? Rank 28. As a position 5 player, guys, just keep that in mind. Fly is a position 5 player, and he's rank 28. Oh my god, I can't trust my cores, and I can't get out of Herald because my cores aren't good enough. Fly's rank 28. You're just not good enough. I'm sorry to be that guy, but it is the reality, it really is. Sure, he got in early, sure he could carry from the core roles as well, but nonetheless, look at this play that they make here. With Alpha Wolves, a Hellbear Smasher, and an Ice Armor creep, he's able to frontline with the Wild Wing, which he gives Ice Armor to, making it unbelievably tanky. You can see that it barely dies with Ice Armor. They're able to take Roshan 12 minutes in with a Chen and a Quap. Yes, you heard me right. They didn't even bring their Tusk. You would expect, oh, EG can Rosh because they have Tusk. They didn't even bring Tusk. And they take Rosh at 13 minutes, giving RTZ an Aegis on Quap, and all of a sudden this level 10 Quap, who's unstoppable, now has 2 lives. And they're going to connect on the map. So they know currently that the enemy team is farming this bottom area, right? So where does RTZ farm towards? He farms towards the bottom. He cuts the mid wave, right? Always push in waves before you make plays. He shoves mid, and you're going to see he eventually shifts bottom. And this is how you play fast. You cut a wave, you shift towards, where the fight is happening. You don't have to go, right? Look, RTZ doesn't immediately go to the fight. He shifts actually back towards mid after he realizes, okay, this engagement isn't exactly what I thought it would be. So he goes back mid to farm. Remember, mid is the best place in Dota to be if you're high tempo, because you can go to bottom at the top really quickly, right? If let's say the troll was to go top right now, TP top, instantly all of EG could just run at him and he'd be stuck. So yeah, now, because they, bring all their heroes here, they're able to go on the Troll Warlord, they're able to kite him out. RTZ pushes back the Earthshaker with the ultimate to prevent him from getting a God tier Echo Slam. He actually gets a pretty good one nonetheless, but because this Chen is Giga farmed, it takes them forever to kill him. Right, guys? It takes him forever. He didn't even get off Mech and Hand of God, and it feels like they overcommitted on him. Imagine if he got off his spells, right? His positioning maybe was slightly off there, but nonetheless, he has so many items. He has all these creeps. Kitrak is even a high level. RTZ has Aegis, so they can't obviously go on him. And the game ends at the 16-minute mark in a second here, after they take one more fight. But yeah, this is hopefully a fascinating video to you guys. It was a really cool game for me to explore and dive into from an analyst perspective. And I hope you guys enjoyed and understand some very high MMR concepts. These things are very hard to apply. And remember, I'm only talking about, 10% of what they're doing, like all the advanced things. There's a lot of little things that come in a high MMR Dota that most players simply don't understand. So yeah, if you want to learn about them, I recommend you sign up to the gameleap website and just subscribe to this channel, as I'll be doing more videos like this in the future, especially if you guys enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. They're gonna GG out right about now, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Before you leave, just want to say a quick message. If you're trying to get better at Dota or you just enjoyed that video, I know this is pretty general and you're going to hear this quite a bit from me, but I recommend you sign up to gameleap.com. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into the content over there, and generally the effort I do there is different from the content you're going to see here on YouTube. It is different. In fact, I usually go a lot more in depth on topics or into niche topics that help you get to the next level even faster. Because on YouTube, I often have to keep it more mainstream. And that's even why I'm putting it at the end of this YouTube video. That's why this is at the end, because a lot of people just watch 5 minutes, they skip through just for like the dopamine spike. But if you are interested in actually getting better at Dota, I recommend you go to the description down below, get your discount right now by clicking the link, sign up, use the discount code that you're going to see there. And I hope to see you there right now. So click it. And yeah, thanks for watching.